flosstube. Hello again. This is, I think, episode 4. Could be 3. I've lost track of the plot since I have restarted my channel, and I could have checked before I started, and I did, and the number's gone from my mind. So here we are, episode 3, episode 4, somewhere in the early below 5 episodes. Here we are. So my name is Michelle. This is my flosstube channel, where I mainly talk about cross-stitch, and today it's going to be mostly about cross-stitch with a kind of adjacent book talk and cross-stitch book talk, because I'll talk about this after my projects. But there's some good stuff there. I want to talk about that too, and some haul, and just a whole bunch of other things, and yeah, my playoff game today. So keeping this short because I just watched. God, I did so much hockey watching today. So circling it back, because obviously if this is your first introduction to my channel, you're going, wait, what? Hey, don't go in my bag. Don't go in my bag. I have a bag of goodies he's trying to get into. If you're new to my channel, my name is Michelle. I go by she, her. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I like to cross stitch and talk about a lot of stuff in a chaotic manner. Yes, I do. So, anyways, fun fact, today is my birthday. Today is my birthday. It's a great day for my birthday. It snowed. It just stopped snowing, but it's still really gloomy and overcast. Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. It's my long weekend in Canada. I don't expect much less. Do not scratch the wall. And well, I'm not gonna edit that out even. I can't. I got rid of the cats. I got rid of my husband. No, I didn't get rid of the cats. I got rid of my kids. I got rid of my husband. I cannot get rid of the cats. So we're just gonna deal with me yelling at one or two beings in the household for making noise rather than 5. So yeah, it's my birthday, and it's been a really good day for me. We have a lot of hockey games going on today for my teams. Team Canada is playing, and it was just really funny. Whole lore there, Cindy Crosby not getting the captainship from Macklin Celebrini, and that's been fun to just engage in. The Montreal Victoire, they won their second game. I thought they got stopped the overtime games. They're playing for the Walter Cup, and this is their 3rd year of the P-Dubs being around. So this is the first year they've been going for the Walter Cup. It's going to be a record-breaking year either way, because it's a Canadian team, Canadian captain. Like, Canada's winning the Walter Cup because they've eliminated all the American teams. However, they keep going into overtime, and game 1 was ridiculous. Like, the white line was down, the game-tying goal, like 2 seconds left between the third period, and then like injured player and Stacy comes back and scores the game-winning goal, and over. Like, you can't make better fiction than this. And it was a great game and fantastic, and this is why people need to watch women's hockey, especially the Montreal Victoire. There's no other teams. There's just that team, and we're not going to talk about the 4 other teams and all that drama. It's being expanded. There's a whole bunch of drama. So anyway, so that's the first one. And then also, Montreal Canadiens. I'm a born and bred Montreal Canadiens fan. Je m'appelle Michelle Dumont. My family, my dad's family was born in Quebec. I think his generation is literally the first to leave Quebec, or like the area of Ontario where you're still basically in Quebec, right? So really long history, and you really only had 1 to 2 hockey teams in Quebec to cheer for, and really it was Montreal or nothing. So I've been really enjoying their playoff run this year. Their men's hockey has its problems. I will definitely be really happy to talk about that, and but like not in a long video. I'm just like saying I'm aware. I have grown up around hockey players. I have grown up around all of this. I am very aware of the toxic masculinity culture of it. I still really enjoy the sport. It is a terrible thing. It is a terrible, terrible burden to like things that men are good at. Anyways, I love it. The Montreal team has not been the worst team in the league for a lot of things. They really actually seem to be going by on the power of friendship and wholesomeness, and I want to buy the media relationship it gives me. It gives me joy. It gives me a little bit of pride in something, so I'm going to take that, and we're just going to go with it and allow it. Okay, and do I go ahead? Nah. Also, if you're into hockey, Amazon Prime has the first season of the Off-Campus series now as a show, and I binge watched that too. So I've been having hockey as my sport, as my book, and as my TV show, and I'm living my life right now. I have issues about the adaptation. We can also talk about that on Instagram or in the comments. I will not go into that, because if you've not read the books, you will not care when I start talking about what they changed and didn't change. But I have opinions. I have a lot have opinions. So yeah, hockey rambling over. Welcome to Canada. Let us go in. I mentioned today was my birthday and I'm having a good day. Other things I'm doing for my birthday is I posted this on Instagram about how I wanted to start, have like a little wayward, words. I don't usually start like a birthday style, like big thing. I'm very much like, oh, don't perceive me. Don't acknowledge it's my birthday. However, I've got 2 little kids. They love birthdays. They love my birthday. They love making a fuss. And I think it's kind of, let me ask for attention to take up space in the room, right? And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to ask for a birthday stitch along this year. And I've been really touched by everyone that's started, finished if you're some people already, because like I saw that, Lisa. Finished or just have things plotted out and ready to go. And so Tamara was so generous and gracious, and she well, I'm hoping to post this today or by early tomorrow morning, because we'll see how the YouTube times are, because she's having a 35% off sale on her patterns. Like, she's excited about it too, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, girl. So yeah, I will make sure I link that below. She also has a beautiful floss tube where she talks all about that thing. I don't know how she does it, because like she's like holds up this like massive project. She's like, this took me 8 days. And I'm like, eight days? Eight what? Like, do you just, because I don't think designing is her full-time job. Like, I think she's just, I don't know. Anyway, so to announce it, I worked really hard and busted my butt to finish one of her freebies, which is this little raccoon thank you, right? It's so cute. There's a lot of colors in this, but obviously it's because of the flowers. Like, each flower is, I think, 1, 2, like 3, 4 colors, but like, it's worth it. Like, you don't have to use the colors there. You can use something similar or just cut it down, but I like the effect. And I was really excited. I did it on one of my Kaylee tent stitch ornament fabrics, and it was really cute, and I have a really fun idea to finish it. And then after I finished it, she was like, actually, I had a suggestion for a second one, so here's a whole other second one. And I was like, no, because I only have this fabric. I don't know, I'm weird. I like my things to match, right? Like, if I know things are in a series, I want them to match, right? And like, maybe not always. Like, I had such a crisis when starting Lupine, when she her year of nature walk, she had the 12 patterns, and she released the 13th. I was like, perfect. I have this idea, I have this vision. It's going to take me like 3 years to get there, but I have a vision and I have a plan. And then, like, you know, it was released. There was nothing. She did like her big year of nature walk, or nature's journey style in the Just Got Stitch magazine. I was like, perfect, this is great, and just working along. And she's like, here, I've got 4 more. And I'm like, well, no, my plan doesn't work. I was gonna make a calendar with the cross stitch finishes, and it doesn't work now because now there's more than 12, and I can't decide what to do with that. But I'm gonna work on it. I'm back to the drawing board. It doesn't matter because I've only stitched 1, so that's okay. So yeah, so this is a cute little freebie, and then she has like multiple other patterns. Like, I think the first one is like, she just burst onto the scene and she's just been cranking them out. I think she's been teasing a Halloween one that I'm very excited for, and I post on my Instagram story, and it seemed like everybody else was really excited for. So we're gonna be starting Sal with that one. That's fully released when we have a name. Hopefully, my goal is then to be done my first one of these. She's got the 2 Pretty Bird and Goodnight Birdie Quakers, which I love, and the Sunshine delivery. There's 2 mail delivery ones too, which I also really like. So my conundrum is, I was going to do our roots are in the country, which is an Ursula K. Le Guin quote, and it was really good. And I was going to be wild, and I was thinking about doing it on a pale purple. But then when I went to get it, I have this beautiful piece of scroll from Be Stitch Me, and I was like, this could be really nice for it, kind of like earthy and rooty, but with like a little bit pink. Because I was also thinking about going crazy and like doing like just like a solid pale purple, because I have a huge amount of pale purple. And then I have like it's less exciting. It is from Mystic Fabrics, and it is Mystery. And I'm leaning towards, like, and that's not even the good side. You know, some fabrics have a good side and a bad side. This is the good side. And it's like, I'm leaning towards the more neutral one, right? Because like, there's so many beautiful colors and overdyes. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to be putting some stitches in today because it's my birthday, and I have to start on my birthday. It's just, I'm frozen. I'm indecisive, you know? But that's what I'm starting today. And I thought I'd share it because it'd be nice to share while it's here. Now, I have been a busy girl. I need a cuter bucket or basket. This is my I empty this out and I just throw things in here when I go and talk about flosstube. Like, oh, this needs to go on flosstube. So I had mentioned this on my last one, so I was working away on it. And it is my finish of the cottage witch sampler with the color variant from Amanda Bat Stitch Designs, and so much more spooky fabric. And it's actually really nice. I haven't watched the full video yet because like, I don't know how YouTube does it sometimes. I get really bad tags. But I noticed that Hillary of Subpar Stitcher like recommended me, gave me a shout out, and so I had to watch at least the part where she talked about me, because you know, gotta listen to the nice things about yourself. And it was really sweet because she was talking about like how I'm using the crazy fabrics and the access to Canadian dyers and things, and it was just so funny because it made me laugh, because she was saying like, yeah, because she's in Canada, so she has access to all these Canadian dyers that I don't have, and I'm not paying the tariffs and the shipping and the customs. And I was just like, girl, same. Like, I am so envious of all the American dyers of like I think I can name like 10 off the top of my head, right? And it's not to say that we don't have great ones in Canada. It's just, I feel like there's a wealth down there, and like they're always used in like all the designs. Like, oh yes, I did this on Be Stitch Me. Oh yes, I did this on Color and Cotton. I did this on Mist It. And like, it's at least a straight $25 just to ship over the border. Like, we're not going to talk about anything else on top of that in exchange rate. And so like, I either done my things myself, or I'm a very, very loyal follower of Bird and Nettle and Kaylee at the Sewing Shop and Evertotes and the Grateful Thread, who is local to me, which is the only reason why I have access to her, because local-ish, because she doesn't vend online. But yeah, so like, I'm like, I've got like 4 dyers and my bottles of Rit dye. Like, I'm flattered that you think I'm doing great color choices, because I am acting out of desperation and loneliness. Yeah. And actually, I probably should have started with this one. I finally finished Chaos Bird by Fine Frog Stitching. This was really embarrassing, because 2 years ago, I tried to do a whipcore board for smalls, because like, this is like, I think 900 stitches. It's not a big one, right? And I was going to put like a bunch of like really small ones. I did 20 stitches on this, and that was it for a year and a half, 2 years. I fixated on this, and I think I finished it in like less than 3 days. I'm gonna hold it up again. This is a really fun one. This is on another Kaylee ornament scrap, because I love my girl Kaylee. Kaylee is also having a May Long Weekend sale this weekend. I'm gonna post this, you know, today, so y'all can take advantage of this. I think it's, if you spend over 60, she's gonna throw in, if it's over 60, you get, I think it's a free project bag or free fat quarter, and then if you do over 120 or over 140, you get a project bag and a free fat quarter randomly that she picks. And like, I love my Kaylee stuff, so, and I was like, I was already gonna, you know, it's my birthday, I'll treat myself. Like, everyone's having sales for my birthday, like, of course I'm gonna treat myself. So yeah, I finished this. It is a little, like, it fits perfectly on the fabric. Like, it's maybe like a little short on the margins, but my original plan was I wanted to put this as like a back patch or something on like a jacket and like wear it for like retreats and things. And I still really like that idea, except then I thought about washing that jacket, because like, I need to wash my clothes. But then like, then I was thinking like, because I had a whole vision of like all these like smalls, like hand-dyed, you know, like jackets and things, and I was like, I liked using my pretty flosses and my pretty fabrics, and they're not always color safe, and what if I spill a pop on it? Like, I'm a messy eater, like, so I think it's a really cool idea for someone who is not me, because I'm too messy for it, you know. So I was looking at some other ideas for how I want to finish this now, and I think most of them require maybe like a little bit more fabric, so I might have to get creative on the fabric there. But stay tuned to see if I actually do fully finish something. Yep. I did finish Hogs and Kisses from, oh gosh, Stitch Tits. I did finish it. It's still, this is the hoop it's going to be in, which is why I haven't taken it out and like dealt with the extra fabric, because this is the hoop it's going to be in. It is a gift from my sister. My sister, who is visiting next week. So I got the scary part of the timeline and I got the stitching done, but now I need to finish it. I'm definitely going to finish this as like a hoop finish. I just want to really bedazzle and bejewel the hoop, and I'm just kind of contemplating, like, I need to go into the basement of the crafts and figure out what I have, because I'm thinking I need lace, I need pearls, like maybe some bead. Like, it's gotta be blingy, because like, this is amazing. And I kind of want to be a showstopper piece, like I kind of secretly. So my sister is so much cooler than me, like so much cooler than me. And she lives in Victoria, BC, and she's been doing these things. They're calling them cozy club nights, where like they have like the bar space and the lights, and you know, and like her and like some of her DJ friends like DJing. So there's music, but you can also craft, you know. So it's like a social crafting event, like it's been going on like other places too, right? So she's taken that and she's set it up in Victoria. She's having great success with it. I'm like, this would be so much fun if I could like, you know, be like, take it to your events, show it off, talk about your sister being cool, right? Like I need to have some cool sister cred. I don't have it. I am the tired mom of two and she is the fun aunt. And it's fine. I sit at home and I cross stitch and read my hockey romance books, and she DJs and dances at events and helps organize them, and you know, does a lot of really good community work as well with in her role as a massage therapist and acupuncturist. She does a lot of like community outreach events and like teaching classes and things. So I'm like, then yeah. So I'm gonna give that some credit there. So the rest of the stuff in my bin is works in progresses. I've been jumping around, but I did make significant progress and everything. I don't know what, I like unlocked a stitching superpower. And it's like, maybe sometimes I forget that I have seasonal affective disorder, and then the sun comes out and all of a sudden I'm so much more productive. And maybe it's just because I have more light in the day to stitch by, maybe because my kids are outside playing, so they're tired and less little, like, you know. Either way, I was able to put significant amount of stitches in a lot of projects that don't usually happen. We'll see how it happens in the fall, and if I start complaining about not being able to stitch. I'll just hold that there. This is Egyptian Scarab by Needle Lot Designs. It is the first Needle Lot Designs pattern I ever did. It's not finished. I have finished 2 others of hers and three others of hers since then, but this one has just kind of sat on the back burner. Mainly because like at the time when I started, I want to add like a whole bunch of beads onto this. But the thing is, Iris is really, really good at gradients. So like when I was like trying to figure out where to put beads, like, you know, on Pattern Keeper, like, you know, it wasn't working because it was like, it was a gradient, and then I got overwhelmed with choices and I sat in choice paralysis, and I got to the point I was like, okay, maybe just do the floss as charged. It's beautiful colors. It'll work out. You know, like it'd be cool to do a shiny beetle, but maybe this is not the beetle you bejewel. And that's okay. I let that go. And I pulled that one out because, I mean, I'm just gonna pull it out now. I finally got my copy of Iris's new book. It literally showed up like the day after I did my floss tube, which I knew it would. So I got the book. My oldest Natalie, she's literally been treating this as her bedtime story. Like, she sits there like, I want this one, mommy, and this one, and this one, and this one. Like, will you stitch this for me? I think she's picked most of them she wants to stitch. I think there's like 3 or 4 she's been like meh about. And which is kind of funny to me. I'm like the book is fantastic. I'm trying to see if I can find one of the ones that she's like, oh yeah, she doesn't like the mirror one. Like, she doesn't like that one. I mean, I like it. I think it's cool. Okay. Yeah, no. Oh, she doesn't like the snake one either, which, I mean, again, I'm gonna have to do to go with his buddy, the scarab. So she doesn't like some of them, but like she is obsessed. Where's the unicorn? I mean, we all know it. We all love it. Oh, she also doesn't like the Eye of Newt one, which I think is really funny because that's the one that most of the floss tubers I've seen have like she doesn't like this one. She doesn't get the humor. It's okay. She'll grow into it. I'm hilarious. She'll grow into it. But I'm trying to find the one because like everyone else has done like a really good flip through, so I'm not really focused on it. Michelle Bendy, she did a really fantastic one. She just talked about styles and color choices too. And where is that ding dang unicorn? I'm like, I swear I flipped by it like 3 times before. Yeah, she wants that cat. That's the magpies I want to do for myself. There. So she loves this one. Her birthday is in a couple months, and I'm not gonna stitch. I'm gonna stitch this probably on like Ada because like it's dark, and like I feel like I can power through it and get it done. That's my stare at the camera, but I think that'd be good. But like I told myself I had to finish, you know, well, I'm trying to have only one active whip by a designer at a time. So I was like, I kind of got to finish that one first. So yeah, I'm working on that. Oh, it's also so funny. So Iris at the back, she has pictures of all her test stitchers, which I love. Like, give the props that do. And like, I've always felt she did. She's always names them on Instagram, like her posts, and tags them. So I feel like she's very good at, like, you know, mentioning people that, you know, help her out. So I loved seeing that too, like just in the book too, not even like full on, like you guys helped. And then my daughter's obsessed with her author photo. Like, Iris is apparently a fairy princess to my daughter, and I'm not gonna tell her she's wrong because her mind is magical. So that was a slight deviation because I've had to talk about Nina a lot. So as I was saying, talking about only 2 whips at a time from a designer, I did some significant work on 2 of my 5 active pigeon coop ones. 2 of those are really small, and I will get done within, like, I have to dig them out and find them. But so I did a lot of work on Rowdy J. This is on a hand-dyed fabric from my friend Anna. Yeah, right. So I've got the head. I've got like most of like the upper wing down, so it's just the tail and the branch. So I have been enjoying that. I started that last year during the Blue Jays run for the. I don't watch baseball enough to tell you what the championship is called. They were having a phenomenal win. It was really exciting sports. Like, so I was watching because, like, you know, I was like, this is nice. Like, this is fun. Yay team, sports ball. So I started working on that. So working on finishing that, and then I also made me want to work on Orchard Raven, which I started a retreat. I don't think Stitch and Stash. No, that's not what they call it. It was a Stitch retreat in Banff. I went to with my friends Megan and Megan, and we all started this, and I feel like at least one of them's finished it. And this is a piece of fabric I bought at the retreat, and so it's hand dyed by someone that was at the retreat. They had a really cool feature. They were doing they called it garage sale, so it was like you could have a freebie table, or you could also just put some of your stuff there with prices, and you could like be able to go and buy it, which was really nice. Like, all of us found some really good deals, and one of the stitchers there had a lot of really fun like pieces of dyed fabric, and I brought fabric to do that, and I decided I didn't like the fabric once I saw what Megan and Megan were stitching on, so then I had to go buy more fabric, and conveniently I had the choice there. So yeah, that's going on there, and like again, I'm trying to finish all the ones from Pigeon Coop because he has a new book coming out in September. It's a sea or ocean themed, which is not my like deep dive foray. Like, this is exactly what I'm passionate about, but like he's such a wonderful designer. I'm like, there's going to be something in there, and he's a Canadian boy, he's a Quebec boy. I'm going to buy it. So yeah, those were those, and then I just worked on a whole bunch of other things. I haven't posted a photo of this on Instagram lately. This is my get out of the bag. You distracted me. Thank you. Santa of the Forest by Lavender and Lace that I'm working on for Eli Thick Threads Fat Bear Weekly Sale. So I'm doing it on a piece of Roxy Night Owl. So I'm just gonna hold it up there. Yeah. So it's a lot of brown and brown stitching, like very faint differences on a dark linen. It's going really well for me. So I was doing really well at doing like a couple strands a week, you know, like a strand a day basically. And then the one day I was trying to do like the black of the nose, because then I'd just be done with the black, and it'd be a good anchor and reference point. So I was working on it, and I could not make the row of 8 below and the row of 8 above match up, because like there's some fractional stitches, and like I just couldn't get it matching up, and I was getting really frustrated. So I was like, okay, I'm taking that out. I'm going to move to another section. So I did that, and I moved back around, and then I did this whole row, like top row too low, so I have to go back and rip that all out. It was definitely like a page break situation. Like, I have the pattern over there because like I want to keep the pattern in really good condition so I can pass it on to a friend when I'm done. So I'm trying to keep it like minimal creasing and things like that. So I was working on some like photos I took, because like it's too big to photocopy. Like, this is just a whole thing. All right. And so I think I just kind of miscounted with like full, where I was with on the phone and like cross-referencing. So I did it. It's fine. I have to frog it, and I'm just not in the mood to frog it. It's too much effort. Yeah. And moving on. It's time for Halloween by Witch's Garden Crafts. This one, I have 2 active whips by her, so that's again. This is me trying to make choices of getting rid of things. And this one just felt really easy at the time because it's very simple colors, and like a majority of the stitching is just going to be all the borders, because this was originally released as a stitch along. So it was like the banner at the top and at bottom, and then like I think it was like 9 boxes, and then you just filled in the boxes, and so a lot of the stitching is just making the border and outlining the boxes. So that was a really easy one to work on with small humans around, because I have got like the horizontal line, so I can just bring down the vertical line until I need it and then count a little bit. I just haven't. This one is not. This is a Starry Moth by Blue Flower Stitching, and I'm working on it so I can start another one. I've got the border all done. I'm working on filling in the wings, and the border is technically, it has a big, like 3 rows thick of black, and then another of the 9 around it. I'm holding off on deciding that, because one, that would be easy stitching to do while watching TV, so I'm not like against it. It's like, I'm just do I like the aesthetic of it? A lot of this in here is going to be like the Algerian eye stitches, right? The biggest thing is I realized I used the wrong color for this bottom of the wings here, and I was flip-flopping, looking back and forth at the model stitch and what I did, and I was like, because it's supposed to be like a bright purple, and I used like a dusty purple. I was like, does this work for me? Does this not work for me? And I haven't decided yet, because I am lazy and I don't want to frog again things, but I am leaning towards frogging the things, so we'll see. And on that note too, I pulled out the Natural World Stitch Along. I did more work. I am almost at the bottom. I can taste the bottom. It's almost there. This has been one of my oldest whips, so that's kind of, again, I want to move things up a couple of years. I want my oldest whip to be maybe from 2024, 2025, so working on that. This also, I will have such a sense of pride when this one is done. I started it with one of my kids was a baby. When my oldest was a baby, I was on mat leave with my oldest. I was like trying to place where I started. So this would be nice. I think at the time I said I wanted it up in their room. I don't know if I would get. They have more opinions about what I hang in the room now, so I might not get away with it. But I would still like to have it done. And I'm just flipping through what I have. Yeah. So we'll do this one. I'm not going in any chronological order. I'm doing it by vibes. Speaking of old stitch-alongs, I did more work on my Greenhouse of Oddities. I think I'm around the 70% mark now. I am really, like, it feels close to the finish. Like, I could almost color complete a lot of things other than the frame, which I never finished, which is a pro tip for everyone who is doing the current Lola Crow cross-stitch museum one. If you don't finish the frame before it's released, you are just good luck. Yeah. And like, there's nothing much to say about that. I've brought this up many times. Many people have completed it. She's on her 3rd stitch along since then. Like, I love it. I love it. It's just so hard to stitch. I did some stitching for me. I worked on my Moon at Night, which is the Sailor Moon piece. I got bored of the blocky apple green color filling, so I went down and I color completed a few colors to get her little buttons in there. Yeah. This is combined by, I saw my friend posting my friend started it on Instagram, so I saw it and I was like, maybe I should bring that out. This is fun. And then it's good TV watching, because like, it's rows of color. Like, you can really just, once you get the borders in, it's just, I need the paint tool where you can just fill in. and it brings me joy. It's in especially because it's in my beautiful custom Sailor Moon bag by Jasmine's Custom Bags. And my kids are into Sailor Moon, so you know, maybe I can get this done and they're still into Sailor Moon. I did some work on my Lindy Stitch's Cats in the Garden series. So it's Prancing in the Tulips. I'm really happy with this one. I feel like this one, it feels so much closer to a finish than it probably is. Still have the needle in there. Good job, me. I'm happy with this one. So there's 3 Weeks Dye Works flosses used in it for like the pink flowers at top, the green at the bottom, and the white at the cat. And I don't really like to buy over-dyed whites and blacks. Like sometimes there's some cool ones. But I was like, okay, and I also don't like to use Weeks. So I was like playing around with it, and I decided to use some different ones. So I'm just using regular white for the cat, but I'm using the Nettles Yule for the orange bits on the cat. Because like honestly, this is a really good color match to my cat. He's over there and I could toss it on, and it's only texture wise you wouldn't be able to tell. And then I'm using Chameleon's they're South African brand of floss, and I've only seen them in one shop. So this is the one I'm going to use for the grass. It's called Lemons. If you're in Canada, you can get them from Jen at Alberta and Embroidery Marketplace. She's in Calgary. So she has them. That's the only place I've been able to find them in North America. And then the other one, oh dear, I lost the little tag. I have it in my Notion, but the only thing about these ones is they don't pull out nicely from like their little floss holders. So I had to put them on a floss drop, and that's the pink. And I want to say this one like cyclamen, something like that. So yeah, it's going well. And the only thing is I'm now considering is I didn't realize this till I went to work on the big flowers the other day. They are like checkerboard black and white, or I think black and a crew, something like that. Or anyway, well maybe not black, but like dark gray and like a crew. And I'm like, that's weird tulips for me. Like if this isn't like a funky garden, sure, but like I might just switch them to be like a pink tulip or a red tulip. Just I don't know. I just want to stitch tulips. I don't want to stitch checkerboards. And I also did a new start. Oh wait, I forgot about this one. This was my work project. It was an ornament in the one of the Just Cross Stitch Halloween ones, which I am having mixed feelings about the release this year. They've been moving in a direction that I find hard to support. I mean, I don't pay them money. I get it online free through my library. I support a lot of the designers in there. I just need to talk to the editing team, the editorial board, just for a minute, just about generative AI, pattern mills, and just good faith, like supporting people in the cross-stitch community and uplifting people in the cross-stitch community that uplift others. Yeah, I just have thoughts and opinions. I had a whole rant last year about cultural appropriation in Just Cross Stitch magazine. And yeah, so like I said, I'm happy I don't give them any money. I love Halloween. These magazines, like the Halloween and the Christmas edition ones, used to be like really exciting for me to get, and now I'm kind of dreading like what's going to be in there, what's going to make me really angry. And that's not fun. It's a hobby. Hobbies should be fun. You should still hold everyone accountable in your hobbies to high standards and, you know, things like that. But that doesn't mean opening a magazine for my hobby should have me on, like, nervous about it. Anyways, so this is a sample from Jackson Fiber Arts. And this is all the black for the stitching. So all I have left is, like, there's some colors in the wings and the skull. I was going to finish this, and then I couldn't find the colors for the skull and the wings. And they're not labeled, which means they're somewhere. They're somewhere. So I will find them. But honestly, it's mostly done. And then because I finished an Amanda Bad Stitch design, I started another one. Well, first, I had a scrap piece of fabric, so I dyed it first, right? She has a series called Inappropriate Cats, and it's like 6 Halloween cats just being naughty, like spilling a potion, trying to think whether to do summoning a demon, I think, eating some candy corn, rolling, destroying a pumpkin, like just cats being naughty, Halloween themed. And this one I started working on is a cat running away with a zombie hand. And so I actually got most of the cat done. Yeah. And I'm just gonna, like I said, I like things to match, so I dyed this one. And like she stitched hers all in green. I was thinking like, do I do them like 2 on green, 2 on purple, 2 on orange? Because I wanted it to be Halloween colors, but the cats are dark, so I didn't, you could do dark colors, and I didn't want to lose like the pumpkin on orange. And so I was really thinking about it, and I was like, what if I do a gray fabric with Halloween colors tie-dyed into it? So I really like how that turned out. It was a little bit more splotchy than I wanted. Like I was envisioning more like subtle streaks of color across it, but it came out more splotchy. I'm not mad about it. It still works. It's just, that process when you're like trying to do something and it didn't quite work. Final 2 whips. These, ironically, are both of my birthday starts from previous years. Now I wonder what made me pull these out to work on today. Maybe because it's my birthday. So this is another Nail Lot Designs pattern in a beautiful Shiba bag. Thank you, Melissa, for this beautiful bag. It is gorgeous, and I'm so happy I found it and grabbed it. So this is the Art Nouveau owl, and I have just been working on the moon. This is, I think, 32 or 36 count fabric from Jessie at Miss Light Pages. Again, I don't keep the fabric ties always on the things, and I think like I have the information written down on my Notion. I just didn't have it handy because I was gonna remember it. Crocus, maybe? Anyways, working on that. It's just the moon, which is a beautiful subtle shading of all these blues and whites, and it's coming together. It'll be done soon. And then I'll keep going. And then this one, who did this bag? I think this is Heidi's Homemade. I don't think she makes bags anymore. I haven't seen her around on Instagram or flosstube. This is the Dark Queen of the Earth stitch along. And I think about like 1,000 stitches into it. And it's just on her skirt. I started this for my birthday 3 years ago. I just remember because like we came home and it was like, yes, because we'd been visiting my parents with the kids. So we came home and was like, yes, you're gonna take the kids. It's gonna be my day. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna stitch and have such a great day. So I was sitting here on the couch. I put a couple stitches in and our window exploded that day. I'm not entirely just like, so it was like a pull up down window and like the springs just exploded. So it burst through the top. It was very dramatic for what it was, but also it meant I had to take my baby back so my husband could my partner could fix things and look around and figure out what was going on. It was just like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's fine. So I got discouraged. Oh, I dropped some floss. I need to keep that where I need it. So I got discouraged and just never went back to it. And then it was finished, and so yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my books first. I'm gonna talk about my books other than the lot, and then I want to talk about something else in the community, and then I'm gonna talk about my haul. So those are the 3 things that you can, plan if you want to stick around for or not. But books, these are library books. Please use your library. It's a wonderful local resource. As previously mentioned, I get Libby and Press Reader for free from my library. So I have access to Just Cross Stitch, The World of Cross Stitching, Cross Stitcher, some like Love Embroidery, Stitch, which is like a multi-craft one, a bunch of quilting and craft, like tons. And there's ebooks and like library books. Like I've got books on hold and these ones. And 2 of these are actually from my parents' library because I used their library. So this one is Mary Stitchmas from Emma Congdon. I think this is like I know she's got like 5 books. I don't know if this is her 4th or 5th. And I just grabbed it because like she has a lot of typography ones, and like they're very big and bulky for what I like to stitch, but they're also really sweet. And so like I really think I might just do this one. Mary Christmas. Or like take some small. So I just wanted to see what she had for the options for Christmas. I didn't see anyone do a flip through or anything for this when it came out. When did it come out? Sorry, I'm just confirming when this came out for my own. Because my library required it in March of 2026, so that's not when it came out. Sorry, it doesn't have the copyright information at the front. It came out in 2025, so yeah. And yeah, I think it's her 5th book. I think Catitude came out before this. But yeah, so there's just like a whole bunch of like nice typography Christmas ones. I took it out to flip through it. I'm not a huge Christmas stitcher, but I do like the homemade decorations, so that's kind of where I go to. And then I got Celtic cross stitch from my parents' library, which was really funny because the next day I was like at Value Village and they had this book, but they wanted like $6.99 for it, and I was like, And there wasn't too much I was like very interested in. I don't want to like share it. Like it says there it has over 40 small patterns, but some of them, like here. So here, there's the fish and wave sampler. Okay, project 1. Oh look, you can do fish on the towel. It's the same fish motif, but that's the second project. Oh look, you can do little stand-up cards. Third project, same pattern. Yeah, very like just like, and so everything was like that. So it wasn't like 40 unique patterns. It was like, here's one pattern that we can build up and break down into different ways, and like, and they did by different themes, like elements. So there's a couple in there I'm interested in, but like it wasn't even worth the secondhand price tag of $6.99 to me. So I'm going to go through this one fast. And this one is the Best of Just Cross Stitch. I think it's like 1996 to. Library receipt. Yes, this was published in 1994. So it was like their best 10 patterns from that year. And so it's really interesting. Like there's actually some Teresa Wenslers in there. Like her fruit bell pull. But I got really into these two patterns. Yeah, so one is the woods, and it's like some black-capped chickadees, and the other one's a screech owl. And I really just love the simplicity in the backstitch pine needles. They're like designed by the same person. And so I'm just really into those ones. There's a lot of other like really fun, like I said, there's some Teresa Wenslers. Yeah, I like looking through these as like a sort of history of like what was popular, and like these used to be in the magazine. There's a lot of samplers, bread baskets, you know. Not anything I was super into. I mostly just wanted to see it, to flip through it, you know, to see what we had. So these ones are kind of nice. I just find it crazy that you used to be able to get these in the magazine, right? Like, I feel like the magazines these days, they give you lots of projects, but I don't think you get like these beautiful, complex, ornate projects that we do nowadays. They tend to be a lot more beginner to mid-level. And that's okay. Signs and demands of the audience. I think they do occasionally give you, like, I feel like there's like one big full coverage pattern each month in the magazine, but it's not, it varies by theme, and I'm not usually into it, I guess is what I'll say. So just like looking through these ones, it's like, wow, you used to get like the Teresa Wensler fruit sampler as like a stitch along basically, and released in parts. Yeah. Other things. That was books. I guess I'll do haul first. I'm trying to think what people like want to exit out first. Like, is it haul that's more offensive, or me ranting about generative AI? Like, what is more, like, where are people going to want to haul first? You know what? Screw it. I'm going to talk about generative AI first. I'm over it. This was happening a couple of weeks ago, and it's still happening. And I want to really recommend Slow Snail Stitching. Her latest, or her second latest from when I post this, her video. She talked about it a lot at the end, and she was so eloquent, not elegant. I'm sure she's very elegant. Eloquent and articulate when she was talking about this issue. Like, I had been feeling some kind of like this unease. Like, I don't really really like where this is going with this like social media trend of like naming and shaming authors, designers. Like, I do think we need to talk about it. I think we need to have this conversation, but like this public list of shame is not how I felt comfortable going forward with that. I took a look at it and I saw things that were wrong straight off the bat, and I was like, yeah, okay, but like I also understand. So it's like I said, her talk about it was so perfect. Like, I wasn't always like 100% agreement, but I was like sitting there going, yes, thank you. I'm not like, you're seeing what I'm seeing, you're feeling what I'm feeling. This is good. And I think the community as a whole, we want to purchase art and designs from real designers. We want the quality, we want the effort, we want the handmade art. But the thing is, it's hard to tell sometimes. Like, I think I forget sometimes how easy it is. I look at something like, oh God, that's AI, like, right? And I think it's easy to forget if you're online and you're aware of it, how others are just not aware of it. Like, I live in an area where they're really trying to push getting a data center built. This is going to be so damaging for like so environmental reasons, right? And like people aren't understanding that because like, do we say a Google search takes up all this water? No. And like, I think they are thinking of it like a Google search, right? Like, searching on Google, like, like we're used to having like your smart homes where you go like, right? And I think they think it's the same thing and not realizing how it was built. And so I've been trying to be more educational and informative when I say it. Like, I'm not just being like, oh my God, GenAI is so bad, right? It's easier to talk about like, yeah, you know what? It's actually really harmful to the environment, or, it's actually like that funny little image is actually made on stolen art. Because people don't want to think they're bad people, but if you just come at them like from an attacking point, like, you're bad, you're doing this, they're going to shut down and defend it, right? It's another thing to be like, hey, what do you know about this? Like, one of the things I'm seeing is like some designers have been using AI for like generative AI for their advertisements on social media. And like, that's the thing, is I can understand like graphic design, like attractive graphic design is hard. And it takes time. And so if you're designing, it's your part-time job and you have a family or house and a full-time job, right? And like, you're not going to get sales if you don't advertise, right? You need to put yourself out there. But when you put yourself out there using AI, it's 50-50. Like, yes, you're reaching an audience, but you're also turning away an audience. And I think that's really hard to be like, hey, this magical shortcut you found isn't the shortcut you think. It's like the it's like that myth, where like you get the wish, but the wish will really turn around and bite you in the butt. And that's what I've been noticing too. It's like, so some people, like, they're just seeing it as this, or it's like when you go on Etsy, there's all these like sales of like, document planners and things like that. So it's like, oh yes, here, let me, and like sometimes maybe I do want to spend 60 cents to have a cute calendar made and I don't have to do it myself, right? But the time and effort that you put into it is not always worth the outcome, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And like, I get this because like my parents worked in like print media and advertising growing up, so like I'm well aware of like how much work it goes from doing an ad campaign to putting a magazine together. Like, I'm very intimately aware of the work and time and knowledge and skill it takes to do these, and how that can be really hard for somebody this is their side hustle, trying to make it into a main hustle. Like, it's hard. Like, if you're not, as a designer, if you're not going to all these events, if you're not releasing a couple patterns a month, if you're not getting published in the magazines, if you're not on flosstube either being mentioned, or you're not going to gain the traction to make this a supportive reality. And so I've seen it go both ways, where the designers had to step down, or they stop, or when they were able to make it a full-time career. So I think Patreon's been really helpful for that. Because art is a very hard career to have, and it's very subjective of what's popular, what's going to hit, what's not going to hit, and steady income. So I can really see how some people are like trying to not cut corners, because they don't think it's cutting corners. They're just they think it's an easier way to take one of their tasks off. Like, oh, perfect. Like, I'll have my computer schedule my posts. I'll have my computer schedule some advertising for me, right? And so I understand it. And it's just, I found with that list too, like, we're attacking, some people are they're trying their best, and I think they're not aware. And I think rather than pointing the finger of shame, going, no, 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 you're bad, no, God, you know, like, right? If you're like, hey, do you know, like, the feelings, like, because the people that care about generative AI are very passionate on either end. And it's hard because I think it is a tool that could be used better than it is. I don't think it needs to be used in the creative sphere. But, God, they were talking in the news this morning about how, like, the scooter company is going to be using AI to tell if you've parked your scooter properly and you're not blocking the paths. And I'm like, okay, that seems like a little silly, but then I remember how annoying it was to walk last summer and there's scooters just blocking the pathway. And like, I'm not in a wheelchair. You know, I was with some people, so I didn't have to deal with my stroller. And I was like, okay, you know, fair, valid use. Begrudgingly give you that. And so I think that's just like the conversation. Is like, I don't want to have a website with a list of naming and shaming. I'd rather have resources to help people be better. Like, because if you just tell somebody they're doing something wrong and not, you have to help them. You can't just say, you're doing something wrong, this is bad, you're a terrible human. You have to be like, hey, this isn't good. You need to work at this better. You need, like, here's how we can do better, right? Like, and like, there's not really, it's a tough conversation. And I think people have to be receptive to having it and giving it, and it's tough because people are very passionate, and I am too. Like, I will not buy something that is from, like, I have people on my blacklist. It is my own personal blacklist. I'm not publicly sharing because I've watched, I've observed, I've had conversations, or I know of conversations, and that's it. I just feel like once you put somebody on a list, it's hard to encourage change and growth in both directions. And like, I just wish, you know, instead of this, I was thinking like, man, like, a pledge of like, I will do better, I don't believe in this, like, this is why, you know, I think that would go a lot longer way than just saying you're bad because you use AI. And like I said, slow snail stitching, she said it a lot better than me, and I think it's a conversation we all need to be having and talking about. So, fun stuff. Haul. Oh, yes, my most expensive purchase this one, yes, little buddy. Okay, so it's a bittersweet haul. It is a bittersweet haul. I was not able to go to Stitch North, as I talked about. My friends are lovely and amazing people, and I'd asked, like, hey, because I had to send some stuff, because I was meant to pass some things off to people that were traveling from other countries. I was like, hey, do you mind just if I send this to you, passing it out? And then also I was supposed to get things, like, do you mind collecting it? Because, like, you know, shipping within Canada is so much cheaper with one person. And they went above and beyond that. So, I'll just show you some Stitch North stuff. So I got patterns I was expecting and patterns I wasn't expecting. So I won the grand prize in Shade Stitchery's giveaway. So I got her market releases. I did give one of them away to a friend because I wasn't going to. So I'm very excited. I have to make plans because two of these are big. Well, this one's a big one, the Compass Rose, which I love, and then the Arrayed. And I think this is gonna be very soothing stitching. And then the Spring Mosaic and the Beneath the Waves one. And I'm very excited for that. I have to get the cod yarn thread still. I just didn't bother. Get off my stuff. My friend passed me on the Willow and Fern Biscornu, which was an exclusive at the time to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, because I love raccoons, and I was very like, oh my gosh, like, this is adorable, like, when will this be released? And then they release it separately, not in pairs. So I need to figure the fabric out. I'll probably do a different fabric, but yes. And then I got one of the, like this one. This one I'm gonna do for my mom now, because I'm a cute. It's over the garden gate, and it's just like a little greenhouse with a garden, and you, sir, no. And then from my friend Helen, the Dizzy Stitcher, I won all the anchor floss from her giveaway, and this is just so much easier to bring in her luggage than to send internationally. And that's very exciting because, as I mentioned, there's two patterns I want to do in here, and they use anchor floss. And I have my aunt's old anchor floss stash too, so I should be good. And then I asked, like, hey, would you mind buying me some floss while you're there? Like, give me a surprise bag of floss. And yeah, they delivered. That's Rolanda. So I got some more Roxy, and Megan picked a rainbow. It was very lovely, other than the fact that I had to sit and enter it all into Notion by myself. And then also some hand dyed by Rolanda, which is a little bit, it was nicely in the bag, but I had to pull it out to add to Notion, only to find all of these were like basically unnamed. But I love Rolanda floss. And also a purple. These ones I find so fun, just for like quirky Quakers and just like little subs in here and there, like monochromatic samplers and such. So yeah, that was like a little Stitch North haul. I just got a notification that my phone battery was dying, so good thing I'm at the end. But also, dang, well, I guess it's an hour. We'll see. I might have to edit a little bit there down where I yapped out too much. My local needlework shop, Traditional Stitches, is closing. They are about 15 minutes away from me. It was my major bargaining trip when trying to convince people to come visit me. That was right down the road. So they're having a bunch of sales. They start off at 30% off, and they're at 50% off. So I've gone, their hours are reduced, so I've gone here and there. So I've been picking up some fabric, just, you know, based on vibes. Like I got some black, 25 count. 20 count black, Pictureless Plus, more black, Pictureless Plus, like nothing with plans on it. I was mostly just going off of vibes of like, because like also like it's hard, cause like it's just hard to find things, and I don't necessarily have things picked out like unless I'm actively like, okay, I'm starting this project today, the call for was this, okay, let's go look. Also, well, they had a whole bunch of like offcuts of fabric, and they're like, here, please take these. So I have a bunch of like ornament cuts now. Yeah, or like fabric that they couldn't sell. So that was nice, and like they were like, take as much as you want. We're donating it like in like 2 days. So it was like sweet. I got the very last Cheenway silk pack there for the tea time stitch along from X Stitch the Rainbow, which is fantastic because I had just been looking at ordering that. There's only one pattern, I think, 1 or 2 patterns I want to do from that one, so very happy to have scored that at 30% off. And then patterns, because what else can I do? Like, I got a lot of the Just Nan mices. I got gingerbread candy mouse, oops, Stitchy Witchy, and birthday mouse, which was what I was thinking about starting today, and then I got distracted. I got the Take Wing Mojo Stitches sampler, which is actually exciting because for other reasons, which I will share soon. Finally got the Birdman Cometh. This one I've wanted for a while. I just haven't committed because there's a lot of weak dye works in it, and I just haven't felt like dealing with that at the moment, especially the fabric, because fabric's a really important one for that one, and I just haven't felt up to dealing with it. And I got 3 of the Hands-On Designs Autumn Folk ones, which I'm also excited to start working on. I think these ones are big boys. They're long, so I have to figure out fabric for that. And by figuring that out, I might just phone a friend and be like, help me out. Give me some cute fabric. So that was almost the last bit of haul. And like I said, I went garage sailing today. I got some like furniture stuff that's not really exciting, like shelves and things. I got this really cute little goose one. Like, look how cute that is. And then, can we guess what's in the bag? If you guessed 23 skeins of Cottage Garden floss, you are right. And I think only one person had a chance to guess that because I told them before I filmed the floss tube. So they are the only person that had a chance. So yeah, I got these for like more than half off from somebody that was in the garage sale area. I realized after, I blacked out. I'm not gonna lie, I blacked out because it was like Cottage Garden floss. Some of these are cotton pearl, but they're like size 8, which I feel like is fairly equivalent to like 2 strands DMC, like 1.5 strands DMC, so I'm not too fussed about it. I just have to make sure I'm not doing it on like 40 count. But yeah, no, I got like so many pretty colors. And I'm very excited for that. Other than the fact that I have to put these all into my Notion. And like I said, I think there's like 2 duplicates in here. Again, I'm not showing down Cottage Garden floss at over half off. That is crazy talk. That is crazy talk, and I don't do that. 1 second, I'm like, this is, no, it's gum nut. This is river gum, and it's gum nut in here. I got excited for a second that, haha, I kidded it up. No, I'm probably the person that has so much college hair and floss, and none of the called for ones, and the ones that use it. But yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. Oh, goodbye. Okay, so I am going to tidy up. I am going to make my decision on my birthday start and watch the hockey game. And I hope you all are thinking of me when, you know, when you stitch on your wayward stitches. And if how the Habs in the Montreal Victoire do. So yeah, thanks guys. Good to chat. See you next time.